Hey everybody, Miss Casey coming at you with another Try Friday. This week we are tasting the TBAISD Recipe of the Week, kale chips, except I don't have kale, and seeing as I try not to make frequent store trips right now, I'm just going to use what I have in my kitchen, which is broccoli. But actually this is great because it shows you just how versatile this recipe is. So let's get started by washing our hands. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do after washing our hands is we're going to turn our ovens to 400, and that is different than what the recipe suggested, but remember that recipe was intended for kale, which bakes a little bit lower than broccoli. I looked it up online. It said broccoli does best at a temperature of 400, so before you try this recipe with other vegetables in your pantry, double check to see what temperature it cooks best at. Alright, so here I am, my hands are clean, the oven is preheating, and my broccoli is washed. So I'm going to now cut my broccoli into smaller pieces, even pieces, so that way I can ensure they cook evenly in the oven. And I'm going to remember that bear claw grip that Steven taught us about in a few videos prior, as well as making sure I keep a good firm grasp on my knife, making a star with my hand, wrapping my pinky, ring finger, and middle finger around the blade, and then pinching the top of the blade with my thumb and index finger so my blade doesn't wobble. And I'm going to chop these broccolis up. Now that the broccoli is chopped, I'm going to add them to my bowl and get ready to add some oil and some salt. All right, wonderful. So I have my broccolis out ready to go. I'm going to consult my recipe here. Even though it's for kale chips, I'm gonna just adapt it to the broccoli, and it says 2 tablespoons olive oil, or substitute with any cooking oil. Well, I have olive oil on hand, so that's what I'll use, but I could use anything else like canola oil, vegetable oil, grapeseed oil. So let's measure out 2 tablespoons here. And you know what? I'm actually looking at this tablespoon. I think that might be a little bit much for the amount of broccoli I have, so I'm just gonna do 1. So today's lesson is about, if you have a recipe, they can be great to follow, but you always have the freedom with cooking to adapt it to your own situation and needs. So we've added the olive oil. It says add some sea salt for seasoning. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt on there. And it has a suggestion, seasoning with garlic, onion, or Parmesan adds great flavor too. Ooh, I might add some of those. A great video that you could look at to help you decide your seasonings is the Choose Your Own Flavor popcorn video. That did a little bit of a dive into choosing different seasoning combinations to add to your food. And I think that roasted vegetables like kale chips or roasted broccoli would be also a great vehicle for experimenting with different seasoning combos, just like the popcorn was too. Next up, I have lined a baking sheet with some foil. I have tossed the broccoli to combine it all the salt and the oil really well all over it. Now I'm gonna lay it out on the baking sheet. I'm just gonna gently spread them out, make sure that they are all spaced. If you have things too close together on your baking sheet, they will not roast. All right. Now all there is to do is wait until the oven is done preheating and then pop it in the oven for approximately 20 minutes, making sure we turn the broccoli halfway through. All right, and there go our broccoli. Broccoli? I don't know. And we're gonna leave them in there for 10 minutes and then we're gonna shuffle them around. All right, our 10 minutes is up, so time to take our little broccoli out of the oven and mix them up. To do this, I'm going to take some tongs and I'm just going to flip over our broccoli so that way they can get roasted evenly on either side. So I mixed up our broccoli, flipped it all over, made sure that they still all have a lot of space on the pan, and they're gonna go back into the oven. Hi, broccoli. I'm gonna set the timer for 10 more minutes. All right, and our broccoli is ready to come out. Ooh, did you see that steam? Lots of steam. That's good. Oh, they are looking very crispy and toasty. Let's lay them out, let them cool, and give them a taste. So as you can see, it looks like the broccoli is actually shrunk up a bit. Can you guess why that is? It's because all of the water that was in there got really hot and it evaporated right out of the broccoli. And so the broccoli is kind of shrunk because they lost all of that water. All right, so we have our roasted broccoli here, aka our kale chip. Just showing how versatile this recipe is. You can roast any vegetable like this, and let's see how it turned out. I think it turned out great, but I'm biased because I love roasted vegetables no matter what. So give this recipe a try. You can try it with kale chips, you can try it with broccoli. Roast some peppers, I don't know. You can get creative with it. Whatever vegetables you have on hand can be roasted. So let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this Try Day Friday. Bye-bye. All right, here are our voting results. We got 1 tried it, 1 liked it, and 3 loved it. Stepdad and Mom got a little creative with their votes. And my mom proclaimed it the best broccoli she has ever had with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hearts. Wow. I call that a success.